Now we're going to do some stamping with chrome or pigment powders. And so what we've got for this is we've got some tips that I've already prepared. On each of these tips I've put 2 layers of a gel polish. So as you can see, I've chosen to use blue shades. I've just basically used these, as you can see, blue shades of gel polish. Just pick whatever brand you use, and in fact you can also do any colour combination you wish, but I just wanted to do it with blue shades. I've got the top coat, so after applying each layer of gel polish and hardening each layer out in the lamp, I've applied a layer of top coat. This one has got no sticky layer with it, so it's just completely dry. So what we can do is we can make the surface, get rid of the shine basically. We'll do that in a minute. The other things that we've got for this design are the chrome powders themselves. Here I've got this one, gold, mermaid effect gold, mermaid effect silver, and a pearly, a sort of a pearly pigment. What I would suggest is with your pigments, just play around with what you've got with your pigments and your chromes. I keep mine in these little round containers. So what I have here, which I've bought, I put them into a round container because I like to keep them all in a big box, and it's got round compartments. So that's, for me, that's kind of handy. And we've got a fluffy brush, that's what we'll be using as well. And let me see, and we've got all the things that we need to do the actual stamping itself, which is, I have got some kitchen roll, because you can make a bit of a mess with stamping. I've got a stamping scraper card, got something to rest my stamping plate into, and here I've got a couple of stamping plates. It's just a variety of different brands. Some are just a cheap brand from China, some are more expensive brands, and I would just say play around with all different kinds of brands. All you want to make sure is that they're thoroughly engraved nicely, and you'll only find that out by testing them out yourself. We've got lots of cotton wool pads, and of course we need the acetone to clean our stamping plate. We've got a roller to keep our, our stamping cushion, so that we can clean it off on here. And of course we've got the polish, the stamping polish that you need. This one is from Moira. It's black foil polish for stamping. So it's not a gel, it's just a polish which will, which you don't need to put into a lamp, so that's handy. I'll put the stamping items to this side for now. And the first thing that we do is we remove the shine. And one moment, we need a brush as well, a little brush, just to keep your area as tidy as you can. But to start off with, remove the shine from the top coat. So that's always necessary. Of course, you want to have a completely matte surface for stamping on. As you can see, all the shine has been removed from the first one, and what I'll do is I'll just remove it from all of them so that I don't need to go back and do this again. That's it. So I'll just etch it away. I'm just using my block buffer for this, and of course you don't need to get rid of every single bit of the top coat. You know, if here and there you do see it's a little bit shiny, it's not really a major problem. You just want to make sure that you've got a surface where the polish can adhere to. So that's it, that's better. So we can just get rid of the dust from there. That should be okay. Right, now with the first design, I chose to use a curly-whirly kind of design. It picks up a little bit difficult under this light, but it's absolutely beautiful in reality when you see it. And this is the stamping plate. You can see it's got on it. This particular one has got three, let me see. It's got one. Yeah, it's got three different designs that you can choose from. One is a bit smaller, and so you need to be careful when using ones of this size because they could be difficult to use on a nail which is a bit longer. And this one is longer, so you can see that on here that you can in fact, if you've got a long nail, you can kind of measure it against it. You can see that this will be easy to stamp. And this one, you'd have to be very careful to be able to stamp it onto my nail. Sometimes you have to play around with the angle of stamping. So what we do is we have, let me just place a little bit of kitchen roll down here, because of course stamping can get a little bit messy. Just make some space to the side there. So we've got the special stamper holder, our stamping plate. Let's see, and it's always handy to make it clean with some acetone. So just go over it, pure acetone. You can see that your plate's nice and clean. And then always make sure that you give your polish a thorough shaking. Let me just move these because they're reflecting so much. And just so that's better. Let's move it here. Just give it a really good shake. So. I've got my scraping card. I've got one, this one is pretty hard. It's really not that flexible, this particular one. So I'll just show you. What we do is we're going to scrape at a 45-degree angle. So we hold it, 45-degree angles, and we're going to give it a scrape across. It will be just like what I showed you in the training in the other film. So what we do is, let's just make sure we've got the cushion at hand. Make sure our stamping cushion is clean. So we just roll it over the roller. Okay. Use plenty of polish. Bring it around, that's it. So we've got a good amount of polish, and we one row, scrape lightly. Whoops, you can see here that, let me see. Yeah, it hasn't actually completely covered the pattern. So when that happens, just wipe over it. Wipe your stamping plate clean and start again. I'm just going to do that again. 1 minute, let me just check where I'm at. Yeah, just do it again. Maybe I need to do 2 lots with this one. 1, 2. We go over. We roll, and we can look through. Let me see where I'm at, and I can just place my stamper. You can look through it and see what you're doing, and then you apply pressure. Got my finger behind supporting the tip so that it doesn't break off, and you just move it from left to right, forwards and backwards, and then carefully pick it up. Okay, oh, it's probably difficult to, let me see. I think you should be able to see there what's happened. Okay, this needs cleaning. Just clean it like that. Okay. My little cushion, it's got a bit squashed there. So, you clean this with the acetone. And you also clean your card with the acetone. And you know what? Let's just clean our finger while we're at it. So I've done that. And so what we can do now is we can get the first chrome powder, which is the golden one. So that's this one. Let's cover up the little blobs there. That's it. So we've got here the golden powder. I'm using here a fluffy brush. So we just go in tap off some of the excess, and very gently, all you do is cover the design gently with the powder. Make sure you've got every area, and when you're working on real nails, and you want to make sure that you've actually gone down to the side walls as well, and to give it a beautiful coverage. Okay, and now what we do is we just brush away the excess. Do it really, really gently. Don't scrape, otherwise you will scrape away your design. And as you do this, you'll start to see that the chrome will start to your pattern will start to show up. Let's see, it's a bit difficult with the light, but I'm hoping you can see what I'm doing. So what I'll do is we just keep going over it gently, because then the chrome will become nice and shiny. It's just what we want. So here we've got one which has got a lovely gold effect, and then afterwards we put on a layer of the top coat. I'm just going to rest that to the side there, and with the second one that's prepared, as you can see on the pattern, on the designs, we're going to be adding a silver pattern to this one. So let's see, where is it? It's actually this one that I used. So we just make sure that the plate is nice and clean. Let's see. Just make sure everything's close to hand. So just use a good amount of polish. We'll do it twice again. So we'll do 1, 2, and we scrape across. Roll gently, not too hard, and then press your pattern down. Let me see. Press your pattern down, put your finger behind your tip to support it, and roll the cushion from side to side, backwards and forwards, all over completely, so that your pattern is placed. Let me just see if that's all good, because I've got a bit of difficulty with the light there. Oh, I think underneath that we could get rid of a little bit. I think I've gone over the edge there just slightly. So what we could do is we can use a nail remover, like a nail polish remover pen, dipped in a little bit of nail polish remover, which I'm just getting now. So if you've got bits in places where you don't want it, just take the nail polish remover pen and just, let me see, just lightly go over those areas. So get rid of that bit as well, why not? So that is how you can get rid of little mistakes, little extras, and that can happen quite a bit with stamping, especially if you've got those individual designs, the little tiny flowers, and next to it you've got another flower on your stamping plate. You can just get rid of part of a pattern just by using nail polish remover on a pen. Oops, let's keep that covered up. Okay, we've got the silver chrome, so now we go in gently press onto our pattern. So just let it soak in a little bit. And then gently brush over it. And just keep brushing, brushing, brushing. Until you get the lovely, beautiful shine. Hopefully you can see that. I think that effect is absolutely gorgeous. Just rest it there. And now the last one is this one. And on here I've used a mermaid effect chrome powder, and it's called Mermaid Blue. So let me see, I've got a different pattern. What you want to make sure is when you're doing these chrome designs, what's handy is to choose patterns which have got quite a large spaces that you can actually push the chrome into. That's quite easy. These circles, you also could push chrome into the circles. But what you don't want to use are things, well, you can, but what's a bit more difficult then are where the lines are really, really thin. Yeah, look, let me see. This one, it would perhaps make it a little bit more difficult because the lines are really, really thin. You need to really push the chrome into those areas, but the easiest is just to use ones which are a bit larger. So what we do is we've got another one, we clean our plate, and we've got to go for a different effect. So let me see if we've got everything we need. Yep. Oh, just cover up my blobs again. So let's see. We do it twice and scrape across. And pick up the pattern. I'm not actually happy with that. And what happened is my hand moved slightly, and so I think that perhaps there's going to be areas on here which are smudged, and when I look on my stamping cushion, it just doesn't look crisp enough. So what I do is I start again. You can better just remove it and start again. So you just clean your plate and you just do it again basically. So. Okay. To tell the truth, I've got the light in my eye, so I'm having a bit of difficulty seeing. Let me see. A minute. So, pushing down, wiggle side to side, back and forth, and then hopefully it's all on there. Okay. There you go. We've got our mermaid blue. See the black stamping polish the black foil stamping polish now transform once we get the blue on it. So just let that, make sure everywhere's coated nicely and brush off. When you do the brushing off, you want to make sure that you brush off completely. You don't want any loose chrome floating around, because if you have that, once you put your top coat on, you'll start to get little shiny pieces in your top coat, which isn't very nice. We don't want that. So I'm just gonna keep going until it's all gone. Okay. And now what we do is I'm going to grab the top coat. For this, I've got a top coat which is a no wipe top coat. It does not have a sticky layer. And to be honest, for using chrome, you can either use a top gel with or without a sticky layer. It doesn't really matter. But the most important thing is that you always double top coat. So what you do, what I mean is you put on one layer of top coat and then another layer. But what is handy to do when you're using chromes is in between the layers. I'll tell you in a moment. Let me just finish putting this on actually. It makes more sense. So, and then we'll pop another layer on here. I absolutely love this one with the blue. I think that's so pretty. Yeah. Let's pop them into my lamp. And then I'll just explain what I wanted to say about the chrome. So. When you've done a pattern, when you've stamped and you've put on your one layer of top coat, what you want to do is, once that's on, and if you've used a top coat which has not got a sticky layer, you want to etch the sides of the nails. So what you'll do is, with your customer, let me just take one out of the lump. Yeah, when using a full design like this, you want to etch around the sides. I can't do it at the minute because this is still drying. So I'll put it in the lamp, and when it's fully dry, I'll show you what I mean. And then you put another layer of top coat on. By doing that, you'll make sure that the top coat actually sticks properly to the layer beneath it. Yeah, now these are hard. This is what I'll show you what I mean. So what we do is, on your customer, you just do this. Just etch around the side of the nails. That makes a rough surface, and the more chrome or the more pigment in your design that you use, the more it makes it necessary to etch the surface. If you don't do that, it means that what is it? Oh, I can't get my words out. If you don't do that, it will mean that the surface below is still a bit too shiny, and you could have a problem where your top coat starts to become a little bit loose at the edges here, at the free edge, after your customer's been wearing their nails for a couple of weeks. So if you do what I've just done, it means that it will last a lot longer, their manicure. Yep. So you do that, and you do that for all the designs. So I think I'll just do that while I'm here now. I've shown you these combinations, but you can really play around with this, have fun with it. So for example, you could use black gel polish as your basis, and then you could stamp with black and you won't be able to see much of what you're doing, but then you can put a chrome on top, and then your design will be revealed once you're finished. You can play around with all kinds of different colours, even with some glitters. Let me see if I've got any at hand to show you. Yeah, got some here. This holographic glitter, you could even try to pop these into chrome, for example. So that could also be nice. And using different glitters, and you just want to make sure that your glitters are nice and fine glitters. So you don't want to be using the really thick, chunky glitters, because they just won't stick into your design. Oops. That's it. Just pop these into the lump again. And then the question might be, how do you actually make these into a nice design on your customer's nails? You might have some customers who just want to be a bit subtle with their nail art. So for example, you could just do all of their nails in the blue, the base colour, and on the ring finger you could put the design. Or you could, for example, choose to put the design fully on the ring finger and just half of it on the finger next to it. So you've got also yeah, a nice design going on from small to maybe full. And here on the middle finger you could choose to just use a little bit more of the design, so just say 3/4 full. And so you've got a nice, yeah, a nice design going on, and then the next nail could be plain blue, for example. Or you could also just mix and match. You could have on the ring finger the stamping there, and maybe on this finger a little bit of glitter. So it's really up to you. Just have fun with it, basically. When we make our designs, what we want to do is, let me show you. We'll make these for to hang up. I want to make sure it all looks a bit neat. So what I've got is a wipe, and I've just put on it some nail varnish. Let me think, should I use that? No, we use some alcohol, sorry. What we do is we get a wipe with alcohol. I'll just pick up the alcohol. And then hopefully we should be able to clean up our tip. Yeah. We can clean this up without the stick getting all smeared and cloudy if we use alcohol. I believe if we use the nail varnish remover that will make it a bit cloudy, and that's not what we want. You can see there it's all nice and clean. So this is actually ready for your customers to look at. You can hang it up and it will look nice in your salon. So have lots of fun doing these designs with chrome. Let's just make this one nice and clean. And so I hope you have fun. Oops, let's put them in the picture. I hope that you have fun doing these. So, thank you for watching.